Hey there, welcome everyone guys, this is Asgroup, I'm Shambo, and today I'm gonna start off a little Unity, or you may say a Unity mini series about updating your game. So right now, after like being a game developer for a long time, you might have a big game right now, fully functional game, and you are planning on giving new content almost on a daily basis or regularly. So if you are going to give new content, your players would have to get the newer version of the game. But right now what you are just doing is giving them the newer version, and they have to download the whole game altogether. And that's where the updating system comes in, about patching your game to the newer version. In this video 1, you're gonna learn how to create a system where you can check over the internet, make your game connect to the internet and check whether there's an update available or not. So let's begin. I've started it with a blank Unity project in 2019.2. I haven't upgraded to any newer version, I just don't want to. So, and I have a scripts folder over here, I just made it. So let's create a very basic scene. Go over there and create an image and make it fill up the screen. I just need a panel. I could have used a panel, but image is easier to go for. And over here I'm gonna go create a few text. I'm not using Text Mesh Pro right now, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go zoom out, make this a bit big. Over here, okay, yeah. Let's increase the font size. What's happening? Okay, let's get it centered. This is okay. Let's get this in center. Okay, now we'll go get here. We're gonna make this like checking for updates. This is our very starting screen for the game, and this is where we're gonna check for the updates. So before we head into scripting, let's understand the logic behind it. So the logic is that you need to know, first of all, the current version of your game. Then you also need to know whether there's an update, means you need to check out the updated what's the next version over the internet. The simplest way to do is to create a text file that's hosted on your server or in some third-party location where it states the version that's currently available. So, and if our version number is lower than that, then we need to update. Otherwise, no, we don't need to. So now we know the very basic things how to do it. Next up, on what to do, sorry. Next up, how to do it, we need to create a Unity web request and get that text file within Unity, and then check for the strings within it. So let's go create a C# script. Let's call it update check. Let's open it up in Visual Studio. Now for this, I'm gonna open up Opera first of all, because I'm gonna go create a text file. I'm gonna use Pastebin. You can use anything if you have a server or anything, but you need to make sure that you should have a text file. Means you should have a link that should give you the text file directly. Alright, so we'll create the text file later. Let's open the script over here and let's make this pretty. Well, we're going to use networking, so let's go add this namespace using Unity engine dot networking. So we're gonna need a URL to our text file that's hosting this version number. So let's create a string, call it the URL. Now we need to create an enumerator and then call it via a coroutine. But even before that, let's go create a private variable, call it private int current version. This is going to store what's the current version of the game, and we will store the current version within a player prefs variable. So let's go current var is equal to player prefs dot get int. Let's call the variable to be version, and let's default it to maybe 10. You could keep it 0 or whatever you want the default to be. Now let's go create the enumerator. So I enumerator. Let's name this get request. And it's gonna take in a parameter of string, call it URL. Right now this is red because I'm not calling this enumerator right now. Okay, let's go using Unity web request, and we'll call the object web request. As simple as that. And this is going to be Unity web request dot get URL, this one. Okay, now this is just going to get the text file, this part. So we will now need to return yield, because this is a coroutine, I mean enumerator. So yield return web request, this variable. Okay, dot send web request. Now we need to see whether the web request worked or not, whether it is giving us an error or it's returning a file. So first of all, we want to check whether there is an error or not. So go if web request dot is network error. We're gonna go to debug.log, or you can actually show it via text UI within Unity that there is a error that we cannot see. So let's, instead of debug.log, let's go for Unity UI. So using Unity engine dot UI, let's create a public text call it update text. Then we're gonna go update text dot text equal to error this web request dot error. This is going to write our error on the main game screen. We haven't saved it yet, so there is nothing. We'll just make sure this text, we'll put this a bit up, we'll copy paste another, put this a bit down. This should have enough space, so let's reduce the font size. Let's go over here and increase this. That's it. Instead of checking for updates, we're gonna keep it blank. Reduce the font size a bit more. Oh, now if there is no error, we need to check what's inside the file. So let's go else. We're gonna create a string over here. It's going to be update version. This is the string from the text, okay, the text file. Make sure the only thing in the text file is just the version number. Alright, this is going to be web request dot, oh sorry, I got the download handler dot text. Now we're getting a string from the text file. The string is our version number. we need to compare it with this integer current version. So we will need to convert the string to an int type. So let's do it within an if statement. We're going to go int, just a sec. Alright, sorry, int dot parse. This is to convert that text, and we're going to convert this string. So call it update var and check whether this is greater than the current version. So it's going to be current var. If yes, we're going to change this text. Update text dot text is equal to be maybe update required. And there will be an else which will say that you don't require an update. So let's take this, paste it here. This is equal to you are up to date. That's it. We just need to call the coroutine right now over here. So go start coroutine. This is going to be this coroutine, get request, and we're gonna add this string URL as a parameter. This is our script totally done. This is going to work as usual, but before doing this thing, we're gonna go for a check. I'm gonna start this up. I'm creating this as a comment because I'm gonna go instead of the text dot text. This should be equal to no, it's not this. Sorry. This we're gonna put this as a string, okay? So update text dot text is going to be update var. Let's save it. Go to Unity. Let the code compile. So code has been compiled. We're gonna add it to anything, maybe main camera. I don't know. And let me stop this. And here is our thing. Update text is going to be the second text. For right now, our code is going to return whatever string was stored within the text file. This is just to check whether it is working or not. Now heading over to Opera, in the page screen, make sure you create an account. It's absolutely free. You can even log it with Facebook, or you can do this with GitHub too if you are familiar with GitHub. Well, make sure your paste expiration is never, paste is public, and it can be unlisted too. So over here I'm gonna write the version number, maybe 112. Let's call this version number and let's create the new paste. I'm gonna enter the captcha. What's it? And our paste is created. Now to get a link to this text file, you might be thinking about copying the download link, because hitting download gives me the text file. So if I actually copy the download link and paste it somewhere else, you can see it doesn't return me the text file. Instead it returns this. So we need to go raw. So if we choose raw, it gives us the text file. So we will copy the raw link and check it again. It gives us text file. You might be thinking this is a browser, so this must be a HTML page that just sums up to be 112. No, it doesn't, because if I choose save as, it comes as a text document. So this is the link we need. We'll go back to Unity and put the link here, and let's run this, and you can see 112 comes up. This is what the text file was, 112. And now why I'm using Pastebin instead of other services that could give the text file too? Because you need to make sure that this is the single link that you're going to use. This is going to be your permanent link. we're just gonna change the number within this text file. So that's why you need a permanent link for a text file that you can edit. That can also be done in GitHub. Okay, so now let's start this. Let's change this number. You can easily click on edit, change 112 to 69420. I don't know why I'm doing this, but save changes. And then you go copy the raw address is still the same. No need to copy anything. Let's just hit play, and here you can see the raw address stays same and text inside changes. Now let's go back over here, and instead of showing up this text, we're gonna move this comment block, save it, let the code compile. It's compiled. Let's see whether everything's fine. Yes, text. And now our default version that we chose over here is 10. So let's try that you are up to date. So I'm gonna change this value to 9. Anything lower, or maybe yes, 9. Let's save the changes. Let's go into Unity. Let's play. You are up to date because the default version number is greater than what's shown over there. So you are obviously having a higher version than what you're supposed to have. I don't know, but it also works if you have 10 over here, 10 written over here. But I'm gonna go give it a higher value. Let's call it the 15. Let's save the changes, go back to Unity, play this, update required. So that's it. That's how you can do this. So that's it, everyone. Hope you have enjoyed the video. So if you have enjoyed, give it a like and subscribe to this channel. Well, now this was just a video one where you know how to create an update system, like just to know whether your game has an update or not. Another thing that you can do within there is give a link to go to your game page and download the completely new version of the game. But if you want to create patch, stay tuned, because this is just the video 1. I'm gonna show video 2 and video 3, where I'm gonna do in video 2 give you a link in the button. That's once again we're going to pull the link from the internet within Unity, and that link is going to lead you some online cloud storage from where you can download the patch update for your game. And in video 3 I'm going to show you how you can patch the game from within your game without downloading an external patch file, without going to some external cloud service and doing everything manually. So stay tuned, and I hope you have a great time ahead. Stay well. Thank you. Thanks for watching.